So we're basing our project on the picture of Dorian Gray.
So the film and movie description for the novel, we have the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and for the film we have Dorian Gray. The plot of the novel is a man by the name of Dorian Gray learns that his forever youth and twisted perspective on society would cause him much turmoil and regret. Uh, Plot of the movie is Dorian's emotional pressures in his mind. He ultimately sacrifices his soul to remain young and beautiful as the world around him ages with time. The alterations from the plot, or from the book and the movie, is it a more relatable and understandable characters in the movie. The character development is faster in the movie, as well as a better representation of suspense.
Analysis of the setting, as you can tell, the setting of the time that the book was actually written and the time that Oscar Wilde wrote the book are the same, which was 19th century London. This also caused it to be more believable and enticing to readers during this time period because they could understand the actual character development of the actual characters and could understand the things that he went through due to the fact that they lived through them. In addition to that, some of the characters in the story represent Oscar Wilde in a realistic way or a way that he fantasized about how he wished he could have lived or been more openly about his emotions. And in addition to that, his lifestyle was centered around hedonism due to the fact that he pursued his own pleasures above anything else.
So our process was basically we brainstormed on ideas to convey the information to y'all. So we decided to do something video related, which led us to doing a film explaining the differences, similarities, and themes in both the movie and the book. So this allowed us to explain the film adaptation in detail. So we wrote the script, revised the script, and then we met together, taped our scenes, edited the videos. Michael edited the videos, then watched it over to make sure it was good quality. So here's our film.
Somewhere in London in the 1800s.
Now, it wasn't that dark, but that was the overall tone portrayed in the novel, the picture of Dorian Gray. Now, the book not only shows the consequences of pushing the boundaries of morality, but how the movie depicted the literary aspects of the book and ultimately alters the plot.
This book was written by Oscar Wilde in 1890. And yes, we know it is technically not a 20th or 21st century novel, but it's close enough. The plot is simple. A man by the name of Dorian Gray loses his own perspective and morals regarding life through interacting with other characters, subsequently becoming self-absorbed and having his soul trapped in a painting.
And with that, the painting is done.
Well, go on then, let us see it. The amount of time you took, you might think you were building anew. Oh, wow, it truly is beautiful. It looks exactly like you, Dorian. Thankfully, now your beauty will never be lost.
If only I could keep my beauty, the picture could change, and I'll always be what I am now. But I will die, and the picture will stay beautiful. Why should you paint it? It will mock me someday. Mock me horribly.
This is your doing, Henry.
My doing?
Yes, yours, and you know it.
But you didn't have to mock it.
Well, I would sell my soul just to stay this way. Always young, always beautiful, always living. It wouldn't matter who I was. I would just be beautiful.
You, Mr. Gray, I'm afraid, will not. In time, Mother Nature will come a very close second to Father Basil.
Some things are more precious because they don't last.
Poppycock. We wither and scar because the gods are cruel and hateful.
Or perhaps I should nail my soul to the devil's altar.
Remain as you are. Fair trade.
How about another gin instead?
All that hocus pocus, endless conjurations, books bound in infant skin, tentacles of fire, drinking the blood of virgins. Dorian wouldn't freely part with his soul. Would you, Dorian?
You have just witnessed one of the main themes and similarities between the novel and the film, which is downfall of narcissism and the negative impact of influence. As shown, Dorian loses himself due to his interaction with Henry, in addition to him following Henry's narcissistic views to become his own, which caused Dorian's personal views on morality and justification for his choices. Many examples of this include him being elusive and/or becoming self-absorbed. What do you think, my love? I dedicated my performance to you and you alone. Now I have to be honest about how I feel. All my actions, all my lines are said with you in mind.
You have killed my love. You used to stir my imagination. Now you don't even stir my curiosity. You simply have no effect.
You are not serious, Dorian. You are acting.
I'll leave that to you. You townless witch. How could I love you? You are nobody.
Let's take a moment to recognize the difference between the book and the movie. This scene was depicted from a perspective of the novel. The setting was after she had acted her very worst. For the first time, he had lost interest in her. While in the movie, Dorian broke up with her since she was upset he was late.
What? I was just saying, everything is so soon.
I gave myself to you.
Sybil, please.
I thought you loved me.
And I do.
Then make me your wife,
It's
not
just
one
that
of your whores.
I think perhaps I ought to go.
Don't let him do this, Dorian.
This has nothing to do with Harry.
You said you loved
And
me.
I do!
Dorian, please. Please, Dorian. Please, I love you.
In addition to him losing sight of himself to stay beautiful, Dorian slowly pushes away the genuine emotions in favor of popularity and status, which also causes him to lose many people he supposedly cares about.
Dorian, are you alright? I heard what happened.
Well, of course I am. I think I was rather mean to Sybil, but I can easily fix it today.
Oh, Dorian, Sybil is dead. She poisoned herself.
I have killed Sybil Vane. I have murdered her as certainly as if I had cut her little throat out with a knife.
My dear Dorian, the only way a woman can ever reform a man is by boring him so completely that he loses all interest in life. If you had married this girl, you would have been wrecked. Of course, you would have treated her kindly. One can always be kind to people whom no one cares nothing about. I say nothing about the social mistake, but I assure you that in any case, the whole thing would have been an absolute failure.
I suppose you're right. It would have ended badly regardless. It was never my intention to be so heartless. I just wanted to do right by her. But now I can see no meaning in my suffering. It is just pain and indifference. There is nothing of importance about this. It doesn't matter, I suppose.
Good resolutions are simply a useless attempt to interfere with scientific laws. Their origin is pure vanity. Their result is absolute nihil. Her death, however, is perfect. An actress who dedicated herself to acting, heartbreaks, and lovers, dies of a heartbreak. She is in her story, and with she shall never die. You, Dorian, are similar. You have a choice to swallow in guilt or follow your desires, your wishes, or your hopes into a life of happiness. You choose, and if you choose right, I will see that at an opera later tonight. And before I forget, I have this for you, Dorian. I think it'll help.
It's filthy.
She was wearing it when they pulled her from the river.
Why on earth was she... She can't. She can't.
I wanted you to know. She loved you. She was going to have your child. And you killed her.
What should I be? A guilty convict trapped in my own numbness? A dashing flame burning his life out, but living radiantly throughout? An eternal youth with infinite passion and pleasure subtle in secret? An entertainer of wild joys and even wilder sins? Well, now, what does this book have to say?
As said before, this scene shows the loss of his love, Sybil Vane, but little do you know, this is also a major similarity between the book and the movie. In the movie, for dramatic effect, they showed Dorian crying and speaking words of somewhat madness to Harry, expressing his deep regret for rejecting her. In the book, Dorian reacts to this in a similar fashion, angry and guilty, numbered by his pain.
However, Henry quickly realizes Dorian's pain and pushes him into accepting it and moving on, disregarding Dorian's mistakes and making Dorian feel as if this was his best reaction would be to follow in Harry's footsteps. In the movie, this is by painting and enjoying himself in the public eye, as shown by Dorian's addiction to smoking. In the book, this is shown by the book Henry gives Dorian.
Both the movie and the book use objects to help describe Dorian's choices to indulge and destroy himself. However, in the movie, it is a cigarette case which Dorian slowly uses more and more as he becomes more addicted to cigarettes and his lifestyle. While the book uses a book telling the story of a Frenchman that lives the life Dorian does. This is a major difference, as the book is key to Dorian's change in the book, and the cigarette case is important to the plot of the movie near the climax. By the end of the book, I, Sybil, die. I kill myself, and represent the pure artistic ideal, somebody that is honest in their craft. But I am destroyed by the narcissism and hedonism.
In the end of the book, I, Lauren Henry, have not changed. I always advocate for hedonism, but never follow through. I advocate for living purely for pleasure, but I end up having a family and having a posh and proper life.
At the end of the book, I, Basil, have been killed by Dorian. I portray the importance of art by painting Dorian's portrait. I am killed after I profess my love for Dorian, and I am the symbol for art and its relationship to humans and their emotions.
By the end of the book, I, Dorian, had destroyed my painting. I realized my folly and realized that by following every pleasure does not mean that I will be happy. I decided to burn the painting and kill myself in the process.
So throughout the book and the movie, Oscar Wilde uses a lot of literary devices to develop the theme. One really big one is Numeric Irony, which is when we as readers know something that the characters don't, such as the painting or when there was murders happening in the story. This created a lot of suspense and made it enticing to keep on reading to know what was going on. Another really big one is symbolism, because it developed the relationships between characters and between ideas in those characters. Another really, really big one, which is really fun, is foreshadowing. In the book, it shows how their ideas will lead them down a really dark path, and they can see it, but they don't avoid it. And mood is used to create suspense and to create a feeling of ambiance, so that you are put inside the story. And one of the biggest differences between the movie and the book is that the movie has to be filtered down through the eyes of the director, while the book can be portrayed by however the reader chooses to. In practicality, this means that the director had to change a lot of the plot and characterization to make it more entertaining and fun to watch. This changed the whole ending of most of the ending of the climax of the movie, and so how some characters related to each other and some key scenes.